This was the wildest experience. I just hope I don't forget any of this. So whilst I was in New York, I got a DM from Simon inviting me to create a camp, and the timing was a bit too perfect to ignore. I would leave New York on the 25th of June, land in London on the morning of the 26th, and have to be in France that same night. Now, kind of crazy, but in the name of taking risks and getting out of my comfort zone, I said, why the hell not? So after an overnight flight to London, I was feeling surprisingly well rested. I think it was all the nerves and excitement, but the plan was take a flight to Paris and then take a train to Rennes. Now, I wouldn't have even been able to tell you where Rennes was on the map if you had asked me a few months ago. It's northwest France, by the way. So I was just grateful to be in a new place. I don't know why, but it kind of feels like I've hit a glass ceiling when it comes to my life in England. So whenever I travel, whenever I leave the country, I am filled with such a sense of purpose and the feeling that I'm actually living my life. So as nervous as I was, because the nerves were really setting in as I was on that train, I was just grateful to be in a new place and super excited to get there. Really crazy. It's the jazz. Thinking about the first night is actually so crazy now because it feels like I know a completely different version of everyone, but we met, we talked, we ate, we watched the sunset. It was such a magical first evening.
Damn, creators on creators.
I guess the truth is I can't leave memories behind.
Waking up for the first time inside of this 19th century French castle felt like nothing short of a movie. I loved how the historical elements of the castle had been kept in place. The floors, the woodwork, the stones. We even had bats. I was sharing a bedroom with BB Jane and Emma, and I missed the energy inside of that bedroom so much. And I couldn't tell you how it happened. Maybe it was the late night, but it felt like I went downstairs for breakfast and everyone had known each other for ages.
Oh, from my camera that
Yeah.
Whoa!
We had a lot of free time at the castle, but one thing I loved were these mini workshops that were dotted around our calendar. If you know me, you know I love music, so when we were all going around in a circle saying what our song of the summer was, you already know I was loving it. I said The Internet by John Bellion, by the way.
Welcome to the first
By Patreon.
Thank you.
Shout out Patreon.
It was really interesting being in this sort of setting, surrounded by this many creatives, using my brain in ways that I haven't in such a long time. It kind of felt like I was back in school again, but in the best way, being encouraged to dig deeper, think differently, and I really appreciated that.
Hey guys.
I want to see the video of this one. So happy.
It's hard not to feel inspired when you're staying in a place like this, surrounded by so many talented people and so disconnected from the outside world. We had a bit of time before our next workshop, so the afternoon was just spent chilling. At first I was like, oh, this is really gravelly, maybe it's not as good, but this is just more rocky, so I think gravel is low-key better now. Like, are we the problem?
Try like I never tried. Fight like I've lived before. Make me want to.
I'll get honorary Brit.
Oh, thank you. Is that your British accent?
I'm not gonna lie, I tried very hard, but it's not very good.
Wait, that's decent. It's decent. It's not terrible. It's like what part of the UK?
Oh, so close. I thought about the next one.
Say that again.
Celebrity shot.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I went to school in a different part of town.
You could actually sound like that.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
It's actually quite good. I'd say it's like a... This was one of my favorite rooms in the house. We would stay up until like 5 a.m, play Spicy Uno, play Never Have I Ever, or just have really long conversations.
Because everyone has their own bedroom, you know, you don't want people going through and doing whatever. So no bedrooms, but everywhere else is fair game, including out.
If you would have told me that 2 days after meeting 25 creatives that I would be sat sharing my biggest insecurities, I would have laughed in your face. But this journaling workshop really opened my eyes to new levels of introspection I didn't even know were possible for myself. I definitely found it very mentally challenging, but incredibly rewarding at the same time. We even had another workshop where we were building our dream world, and it was almost scary to admit some of the goals that I had for myself, but I'm glad I did. It was kind of strange going back into the real world after days on end in the castle. I don't know why, but it kind of felt like time stopped whilst we were in there, so to go back out and see everyone else just living their lives like normal felt so strange in a way.
Yeah. Guys, we're gonna be touring whatever the place, wherever we are. Where are we? We don't fucking know. Let's go, you guys.
Let's go. Oh, I love that. To the top of the castle, and we would just sit there watching others from the group slowly make their way in. We went out for food, we went thrifting, took pictures. It felt just like a big group of friends hanging out. It was the best.
Are these yours? No. They're Simon's.
The last day of camp came around way too quickly, and despite all the 5 a.m. nights and all the time we were spending together, we all quickly realized that we needed to lock in and work on our collaborative projects. We were put into pairs on the first day. I was with Justin, and we decided to make a short film, if you will. It was kind of a journal entry and reflection on our relationship with the creative game. And it was really hitting me at this point that not only have I not felt this level of inspiration in such a long time, but this is all coming to an end. The full video was around 5 minutes, but I'll show you a bit of it. We have a question for the both of you. We wanted to ask, why is community important to you?
Because happiness is community.
I think for me it's just to know that we're like not alone in this world, and to just find everyone that's like kind of like you, and to like kind of like reaffirm that you are good to do what you're doing right now. So
community and collaboration is just a part of humankind. I think it's just a part of us that we need it.
should we like tell ghost stories later?
Yeah. Ghost stories?
Yeah.
You got one, Paulo?
Yeah, but just use ChatGPT. Create the scariest ghost story based on Create Camp. Sure.
So why is community important to you?
I think community is like a great way to grow faster together, because I feel like when you try to grow by yourself, you learn from one perspective versus like if you have 5 people, you learn from 5 perspectives. And so then that way you can all share everything at the end of the day and like learn together.
Good afternoon, guys. Please, may I ask you a question? The question is, why is community important to you both?
It's important to me because it helps me breathe.
Be able to connect with other people is like one of the best feelings ever.
I think there is something also special about the physical presence of humans, you know.
It's the best cure for loneliness.
Well, what I've recently been feeling is that, so I've been feeling lonely, but I feel guilty about feeling lonely because I'm like, I have family, I have friends, I have all this great stuff. Why do I still feel lonely? And I figured that community is what was missing. Like, it's a different element of something that can make you feel fulfilled or make you feel understood. So.
I needed to learn from these people, and like I needed to have friends that could relate to the struggles I had.
You kind of need that when you're making art, because otherwise it's just like a lonely endeavor.
You need different people's perspectives, good and bad, to push you and make you better at what you do.
I guess I've always craved a sense of community. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good question.
After our final night together watching everyone's projects, it was unfortunately time to say goodbye. It felt like I was mentally preparing myself from the first day for how bad these goodbyes were gonna feel, but somehow it was still worse. I hate goodbyes. People had slowly started to leave the night before, so the castle felt extra empty this morning. I wish we could have just had one more day, but the time was never gonna be enough. To think that the night before we were all sat around the piano singing and having the best time, to now getting ready to head on a flight back to London, it almost felt like I was leaving a piece of myself behind, like I was gonna miss this version of myself. These guys, they brought out the best in me, and I just knew I was gonna miss this community so much.
I guess the truth is I can't leave memories behind.